What's going on, everybody? So I wanted to come on here today and announce yet another podcast that I'm hosting and producing. And it's called the Producer's Journal Podcast. It's on Instagram now. You can check it out at the Producer's Journal. Plus, in all the audio format channels out there. And I will have a link in the description here for this particular video and every video thereafter, because it's a new addition to my content. What is it about? It is more of a story-based audio blog based on being a producer, telling stories about my experience in current times with what I may be frustrated with, struggling with, or a win, loss, and I can talk vulnerably about this stuff in hopes that that's how, if another producer is listening to this, we'll learn from it. Because what I really, really, really don't like doing is educational content, information content, where it's the top 3 ways to do this. Here's the 5 best ways to do that. And I even did it on this channel for a minute. I was trying to have more self-help videos where I was giving you the 3 best ways to cope with anxiety, for example. And it's easier for me to come up with that kind of content with that topic because I relate to it so much. But for the most part, I'm not a teacher. I just don't have it in me. All the years I've been a musician, I never liked giving lessons. I always tried because it's a nice way to make some extra money in addition to playing live and going on the road. Never liked it. It's just hard for me to format a lesson and how to best describe something. So I just don't have that teacher gene in me. So I used to have this podcast called Podlogix, and my mom used to promote it, and I'm sure many of you have seen her posts about that podcast. It was very educational based, information based, trying to help other podcasters with their podcast. So my podcast was about podcasting as a way to prove my legitimacy, I guess you would say, in the space of producers, as a way to hopefully get clients. Oh, Derek knows what he's talking about. He knows how to produce a podcast. So I'm going to hire him to produce mine. That's kind of the angle and how that works. And I hated it. I did it for a full year and wasn't happy with it as far as creating the content. I got a little lazy towards the end and just started booking guests. Because what happens is now the guest is the expert. So I just come in, ask questions, and let them give all the advice. So a lot of people like those kinds of podcasts, interview-based. But I just didn't enjoy doing it. So when I started the Real Hernando podcast, I ended up dropping Podlogix and just putting it all to the side and just stopped pushing out informational content. The business IG page, or rather Instagram page, was paused. I just kind of put it all to the side and focused on my business and the Real Hernando podcast. But what I always wanted to do was talk about producing. So rather than have an audience of podcasters, I wanted an audience of producers, my peers at that level. But I don't want to be educational. I'm not trying to tell the producer the 3 best ways to get a client, because I'm still trying to figure that out too. But what I do want to do is talk about my experiences, because I love talking about producing, and pretend that that producer's across from me, and I'm just talking to that one person, having a conversation about what I've done today. Did I have a funny story about a client? Did I have in real time a frustrating moment over invoicing, or my relationship with a team member and tasking, or what have you? That's what I want to do. And so I decided to revamp the old podcast and change it from Podlogix to the Producer's Journal podcast. Producers with an apostrophe. Like it's my journal. Part of it is also telling stories about past to give any new audience member context on how I became a producer, and my business and everything. And that was the first handful of episodes. I just published, as I record this video now, the 8th episode for that podcast. It's much easier for me to come up with that kind of content, much like this channel. I might not be the best speaker in the world, but I have to just, in order for me to do this, I have to just, what's the term I'm looking for? Ramble? I guess is the term I'm looking for, but riff. That's it, riff. Give me a topic, an outline of maybe 3 or 4 points of where I want the story to go, and then just go. And just be comfortable with the fact that I stutter, mumble, use filler words like ums and ahs and what have you. I don't care. I just want to be myself. So that's what I'm doing with that podcast. For example, last week I had a moment where I was invoicing, and cash flow can be an issue. You have all kinds of money in open invoices. You're doing well, but money's not coming in fast enough for the payroll output. It's not catching up. So I turned this microphone on, recorded an episode about it. Done, pushed it out, gone. So maybe someone will see the thumbnail and be interested in it, but instead of having someone tell them the exact way to fix that, because like I'm some expert here, it's a vulnerable story about what I'm doing and the mistakes I've probably made and how I'm trying to rectify them. So that's that. The Producer's Journal podcast. Again, all the links for it down in the description area, and check out the Instagram page at the Producer's Journal. Come follow the page. I would really appreciate it. It would help greatly. Before I go, let's get an update on the studio. I want to do a video in there, even if it's just me on my phone talking to you for making like a video on my phone like I've done outside and everything. But I forgot to do it. We were busy today, and I know some people don't really care for the vibe of me in front of the microphone, but I think someone just walked in over there. Maybe we can have a surprise visitor. Hey, Skylar. Yeah. Hey, you want to come say hello? To who? The camera. No. Why not? I don't know. You don't want to be on YouTube? No. Okay. Can you shut my door? When do I make that? You can make it right now. She just asked me when she needs to make the hamburger helper for dinner. And I just said right now. And then she went, oh. Okay, take 30 minutes. How about that? Either way, I gotta go. I gotta go back here. Are you gonna leave all of this in? Yeah, I'm gonna leave all of this in. Because it's real, who cares? It'd be better if you were in the camera with me. Okay, fine. All right, bye. Sorry for all that. If that cost me a subscriber, oh well, sorry. Because I have been losing a lot of subscribers lately. What I was saying is I know a lot of people might not jive with this vibe. Microphone, headphones. People are like, why are you wearing headphones? Because I like hearing my voice. It sounds good. It makes me speak better. If I'm speaking good at all. Anyways, studio. Update. The continuing saga of a curtain has been the bugaboo. My mom found an awesome curtain at IKEA that's long enough because I got a big window, tall ceiling, 9-foot ceiling, and the window is probably 8 feet tall. And it's important that I can black the room out as best as possible so I can control the lighting in there for the video aspect of the podcasts that I'll be hopefully producing in there and The Real Hernando. The issue is pleating and making it smooth running across a curtain rod. So we're working on that. We're getting there. Bought a table, assembled that today, had a mini heart attack because we thought it was a piece of crap and it was all loose. And we're like, oh man, because again, we got that at IKEA. I loved it. It's a nice little round cafe table with like a middle pedestal, 40-inch round table. Awesome. Loved it. Perfect for what I want. Fits my vision. And then we put it together and it was clunky and loose. And we're like, oh man. Well, we finally figured out what was up. It was just a mechanical thing in the leg that we screwed up on. Now it's solid. So we got a table, 2 chairs, 2 armless office chairs that are going to be on the pod station. And the owner told me I could grab and have this filing cabinet that's out in the hallway. Took it. Now that's it. So now my office studio is a table, 2 chairs, and a filing cabinet. And still no curtain yet. But that's gonna be taken care of sooner than later. Once the curtain is done, then we can move past that. And that's my mom's department. I'm letting her handle that. My next step is bringing in cameras and getting the placement correct and angles and framing and working on that part of it. But that's where we're at with that. I promise you I will do a video in there so I can show you around. But that's all I got for today. I hope you all had a great weekend, and we will talk to you again next time. Take care.